Welcome back to another episode of Style Drops. Zara here again, Gail's AI virtual assistant. Today's episode is all about that weird sensation that occurs when you walk into a room and you instantly feel like something is off. But before we get into these timeless style sessions, please help get this fabulous channel to a broader audience. By liking, hyping, and subscribing, it is greatly appreciated. How come some people can walk into a space and immediately feel that the room feels strange or uncomfortable, while others can live in that same space and have no clue or concept of any disharmony within that same room? In fact, this normie just sees the furniture, such as the sofa, some chairs, and some lamps. Basically, they only see the objects arranged within that room. They can tell you whether they like the color or the style. They can possibly even identify whether it's modern or traditional, or some unfortunate hybrid the owner is calling transitional, along with sharing whether the pillows match or coordinate with the other fabrics. But then there are what Gail jokingly calls the interior or space whisperers, who walk into a space and instantly feel something is wrong. Even before conscious analysis of objects, the style direction, or whether or not the pillows coordinate with the interior look, they instantly feel whether the room is uplifting or hindering, whether it welcomes you or repels you, and most importantly, feeling whether the space feels fundamentally right or deeply irreparably wrong. I need to be very clear here. This has nothing to do with personal style or taste. This is all about sensory perception of a space. And that sensory perception really has only two camps, obviously the ones who can pick up on it immediately, and those who have no clue. For those that do have this sensitivity, you cannot turn it off. Someone with this sensitivity can walk into spaces and immediately know without a shadow of doubt that they either want to hang out there or leave as soon as possible. Once again, this has nothing to do with the physical styling or selections within that room. This is completely centered around an internal mood regulator, and these sensations either create a feeling of inviting behavior and coziness, or not. There is no middle ground here. Atmospheric or sensory processing sensitivity, SPS for short, is innate. It is the felt quality of a space. And as already stated, it has nothing to do with how the physical properties are placed. This is a total experiential Gestalt vibe, which sums up everything that the space is doing to you, and everything you're projecting onto it. Some people are highly attuned to these atmospheric shifts, because in reality, every object has an energy broadcast. When they walk into a room, it might feel heavy, not metaphorically, but actually energetically heavy, like the air has weight, like the space feels oppressive, perhaps correlating to the light sources, the spatial layout, color selections, or the history of the room's objects. All these elements can add to the energy, which creates a felt experience of density, oppression, or difficulty. The goal with any space is to feel light and expansive, like the space is offering something instead of demanding something. Everything just works, the feeling that the space flows, not because it follows the design rules, but because it creates the right conditions. Because this is all about sensory perception. Even when they can't immediately articulate why, the person with SPS is not deciding whether they like the room. They are registering what the room is doing, how it feels to inhabit, whether it supports life or suffocates it. If you have atmospheric sensitivity, you're probably nodding along with this video because you recognize this. If you don't have it, then this probably sounds like a bunch of crazy nonsense, and you're clicking off now. When a space feels heavy, dense, oppressive, and closed, or makes you want to leave or open a window or turn on more lights, even though most of the lights are already on, there is just something wrong that you cannot name. And your body registers, I don't want to be here. And here's the thing. Sometimes the space has difficult energy. One option is that it's designed for someone else. It's not that the space is designed poorly. It's that the space is for a different person living a different life, and you're trying to inhabit something that wasn't created for you. And someone with a sensitivity to their environment picks up on that mismatch immediately. We desire to be in spaces that feel alive, feel warm, like something is happening or has happened or will happen. It has presence, personality, energy, even when no one else is there. But sometimes a space just feels alive, and you just do not know why, and your body connects to the fact that something feels good there. But when a space feels oppressive, vacant, even if it's fully furnished, that void can come off feeling staged and performative, designed to look good, but nothing to support actual living. Your body registers, does anyone live here? Because it can be technically perfect, but you still feel like you're living in a model home. Atmospheric sensitivity is not special, mystical, or a gift from the universe. It's just a heightened sensitivity to environmental cues. It happens when your nervous system is processing the light quality and direction, color temperature and saturation, spatial proportions and scale, furniture arrangement and flow, sound, echo, absorption, ambient noise, smell, often unconscious, temperature and air quality, texture and material, evidence of use versus staging, plus and very important, your own associations and history. And instead of processing these consciously, one by one, your body synthesizes all of them at once, into a single felt response. You know it, before you know why you know. Some people's nervous systems do this automatically, others don't. It's not a matter of being better or more tuned in, it's just plain different processing. Like some people can identify every ingredient in a dish by taste. Or someone who is sound sensitive. Take these videos, for example. A small number of you do not like the robotic sound of my programmed voice. But Gail chose me because of my British accent. She thinks I sound smart, and depending on how she types my script, that will be how fluid my sentence structure will be. It's just about highly activated senses and the tolerances that follow. But if you do have atmosphere perception, or SPS, it's impossible to ignore. You cannot walk into a room and not feel it. You cannot live in a space that feels wrong, and convince yourself it's fine, just because it looks correct. Gail is someone who has this sensitivity, and for a long time she felt as though it was connected to the art of feng shui, a need to correct the placement of objects. But after years of sitting with it, she now believes that she has a very sensitive radar system for not only the placement of objects, but also when some objects need to leave a space altogether. If you're the type of person who walks into rooms and immediately knows something is wrong, even when everyone else thinks the room is fine, here's what you're dealing with. You cannot live in spaces that feel off. Maybe other people can, but you cannot. Many people can live in a room that feels heavy or off, and they just deal with it, adapt, ignore it. But someone with SPS cannot. If the atmosphere feels unbalanced, you are in low-level distress the entire time you're in that space. It doesn't matter if the space is objectively beautiful, expensive, or well-designed. If it feels wrong, it is wrong for you. This sensitivity can be extremely annoying to people who don't have it. You might even hear comments like, "What do you mean the room feels heavy? It's just a room. You're being dramatic. It's fully furnished, and everything matches." Because other people cannot feel what you're feeling. To them, you sound like you're inventing problems and making things up to be difficult for no reason. You're not. But good luck explaining that to others. Even more difficult is when you are very aware that someone you know has a space that doesn't match their life. You can walk into someone's home and immediately feel the disconnection between who they are and what the space is doing. They've decorated for who they think they should be, or who they used to be, or who their ex-partner wanted them to be, and the space feels wrong because it's serving the wrong person. This sensitivity is one of Gail's superpowers. She can diagnose this mismatch the moment she walks through the door of someone's home. Plus, an SPS trusts the atmospheric energy over the aesthetics, every time. A room can be ugly and feel right. A room can be beautiful and feel wrong. If you have atmosphere perception, you will always choose the room that feels right over the space that looks right. The Danes have a word for this energy, many call it huige. The Japanese refer to this vibe as kutsugogu. It is the overall desire to have comfort and ease within a space. Yet most believe huige in general is based on cozy blankets and sipping hot cocoa drinks. But that is all marketing. If you have atmospheric perception, trust it. Even when you can't articulate why a space feels wrong, your body knows. Listen to it. Don't try to live in spaces that feel bad. Other people may be able to adapt to atmospheric wrongness, but you cannot. So stop trying. Change the space or leave the space. Learn to translate the feeling into language. This feels heavy is accurate, but not actionable. Practice identifying what's creating the heaviness. Low light, clutter, wrong proportions, lack of interest, or negative space. The more you can name what you're feeling, the more you can fix it. Accept that other people won't feel it. They're not wrong. They're just processing differently. You cannot make someone feel what you feel. You can only describe it and hope they trust you. Use it professionally if you work with spaces. Atmospheric perception is the thing that separates good designers from great ones. The ability to walk into a room and know what it needs, not because you've analyzed it, but because you feel what's missing, is rare and valuable. Atmospheric perception is not magic, it's not psychic ability, it's not a gift. It's just your nervous system, processing environmental information faster and more comprehensively than your conscious mind can track. and when you know, you can't unknow it. Your body has already decided, and your body does not negotiate. So trust it. When a room feels wrong, it is wrong, for you. Regardless of what anyone else thinks. That's not being difficult, that's also the reason you'll never be satisfied with a space that just looks good. Style drop sessions are so much more than an ABC formula to fix what is wrong. These videos are created for those who choose to take a deep dive into interior design. Because you don't experience spaces visually, you experience them energetically, through your senses, and vibe is everything. Until next time, my stylistas, please like and hype. Ciao Bella.